There's a moment, quiet, almost surreal, when the question that once felt distant suddenly becomes real. Not can I grow, not will people watch, but can this actually make money? And the shift is subtle but powerful because now YouTube is no longer just a platform of expression or growth, it becomes a platform of opportunity, of leverage, of real-world impact that extends beyond the screen. And then comes the emotional layer, because information alone rarely spreads, but emotion does. Whether it's surprise, curiosity, shock, inspiration, or even confusion, something inside the viewer has to move, has to react, has to feel something strong enough to continue watching or even share it with someone else. But here's the part most creators miss. Virality is not just about the first viewer. It's about the second, the third, the thousandth. It's about how your content performs across different types of people, how consistently it triggers curiosity, how reliably it holds attention, how universally it communicates its core idea. And this is where simplicity becomes powerful. Not because simple content is easier to make, but because it's easier to understand, easier to process, easier to share. And when a video communicates a clear idea quickly, without friction, without confusion, it travels. But here's where most creators misunderstand the game. They think money comes from views alone, from virality, from numbers that look impressive on the surface. When in reality, income on YouTube is built on something far less visible but far more powerful: trust, positioning, and value. Because views can bring attention. But attention without trust doesn't convert. It doesn't sustain. It doesn't build anything long-term. And the creators who struggle to earn are often the ones who focus too much on reach and not enough on relationship. At this stage, you begin to see different paths opening: ad revenue, brand deals, sponsorships, affiliate income. And each one operates on a different principle, a different kind of value exchange between you, your audience, and the brands or systems involved. Ad revenue feels like the most obvious one, the platform paying you for attention. But it's also the most misunderstood, because it's not just about how many views you get, it's about who is watching, how long they watch, what niche you're in, and how consistently you can generate that attention over time. Then come brand deals. And this is where perception becomes reality, because brands don't just look at your numbers, they look at your influence, your audience quality, your consistency, your credibility, and how well your content aligns with their message. And this is why two creators with similar views can earn completely different amounts, because one has built a connection, a level of trust where their recommendations carry weight, while the other has built reach without depth, visibility without influence. Affiliate income introduces another layer, the ability to recommend products or services and earn through conversions. And here again, the same principle applies. Without trust, nothing happens. But with trust, even a small audience can generate meaningful results. But here's the deeper truth that changes everything. Money on YouTube is not something you chase directly. It's something that emerges when you consistently deliver value, when your content becomes reliable, when your audience believes in what you create and what you say. And the creators who succeed long-term understand this. They don't force monetization early. They don't overload their content with promotions. They build first. They establish their presence, their credibility, their identity. And then, when the foundation is strong, monetization becomes natural, almost effortless. And yet, this phase also tests your integrity, because now you have options, opportunities, offers that may not always align with your content or your audience. And the decisions you make here shape not just your income, but your reputation, your long-term trust, your sustainability as a creator. Because in the end, making money on YouTube is not about maximizing short-term gains. It's about building something that can generate value consistently over time, something that people trust, return to, and believe in. And once you understand that, once you align your content with real value, monetization stops being a question and starts becoming a result. If you want, next is part 12, mistakes that destroy channels and how to avoid them before it's too late. In the same ultra-cinematic style,